And tonight, one of those cases involves the death penalty, but here's the twist. It's being prosecuted by the feds. Lorenzo Hall is on this for us at 11.
The bodies of two Virginia teenagers were discovered in a shallow grave at a Fairfax County park in early 2017. Police say 17-year-old Edwin Mendez and 14-year-old Sergio Tremino were kidnapped and then murdered by MS-13 gang members in the summer of 2016. Nearly a dozen men are charged in these cases, but late Monday, the Justice Department announced a rare move. It's seeking the death penalty for one suspect, Elmer Martinez, believed to be the group's leader.
You have to bring back the death penalty.
This comes at a time when the Trump administration is looking to restart federal executions, which have been on hiatus for nearly 2 decades. It's also aimed at a violent group the president repeatedly targets.
These are animals.
According to court filings, the Justice Department is only pursuing the death penalty against Martinez because they claim he committed the offenses after substantial planning and premeditation. Prosecutors say the 17-year-old was killed because he was thought to be a spy for a rival gang, and the 14-year-old because they assumed he was cooperating with police. Meanwhile, I spoke with Martinez's lawyer tonight, Robert Jenkins. Jenkins says this case has less to do with justice and more to do with politics. He called the elements of this case attractive politically to the Trump administration. Jenkins goes on to say this is strange because the other suspects are actually accused of killing those two teenagers, but the Justice Department is not seeking the death penalty in those cases. He plans to file a legal challenge later this week. I'm Lorenzo Hall, WUSA 9.